Hello everybody, Fearmy Games here, back, but not for a Guild Wars Factions playthrough like you guys might be imagining. In fact, I'm actually here for a little bit of Guild Wars. There's Nightfall playthrough, the first episode of it. We've had Fearmy Games, who is residing over here. I think this is the Dominion set armor I have for him. We had Fear My Old Games, who I still need to record um the post finale video. Um and now and also I changed the background if you guys don't notice to the Nightfall background. I actually love one of the things I like about it for is that the ability to change the background. So I made it for Nightfall to kind of fit making the character. Of course we're doing a roleplay character and we're in Nightfall. In Nightfall, there are two professions that are Nightfall only. First up, we have is Paragon, which is one we are going to pick. Spoiler alert. But Paragons have a channeling voice and charismatic presence. The Paragon rallies the valiant through inspiration, motivation, and leadership. We also have a Dervish here, which a lot of people love the dervish. It is a really fun class, but we're not going to do it today. I already have a dervish and I've played a lot of it, but I have not really played very much Paragon, so we'll kind of see how it goes. Um, Then we have bolstered by the blessings of the gods. These holy warriors reap the benefits of multiple enchantments. With a sharpened scythe, the dervish can unleash a whirlwind of destruction. And so I've kind of been debating back and forth with what I'm going to do. Should I do like a female character to change it up for the series? And the female Paragon, I remember, it's like been 10 years now, but I think they have a very fun dance. But I've already done off screen so many female characters that the motif just doesn't appeal to me for the first of the video. But I thought of a fun play on words for a Paragon. So hear me out. Paragon's most famous build is Imbagon, right? But it's a buff, it's a support build. Plus, the Paragons are one of the two heavy armor classes in the game. So, for my buff games, because it's a play on words, because he's buff, he's strong with this heavy armor. Look at those muscles. Look at those muscles. Plus, he's probably going to be buffing his party. So it's like a play on words. Yeah, I felt it was kind of nice. So the character creation is not going to take as long um, as it might have been otherwise, because actually, this is not the first time I'm going through character creation. In fact, it's the second time. Because I recorded the first video, I picked the tutorial because I wanted to see how it went through. But there's just so much talking on going through that I felt like it might bore you guys. And plus, I don't need the tutorial. Um, so I figured, I'm just gonna restart because I'm right at the beginning. Also, I noticed that in this video and occasionally in the last video that there's been a little bit of stuttering with the video, and I wonder if it's because I changed my CPU scheduler to basically instead of basically, I used an older one, which was working, which at the time was the perfect one. I picked it because it was the one I was doing what I needed it to. But then I noticed that like Guild Wars has like my 1% loads a little bit weird when I first started, but usually pick itself back up after a little bit. So I messed with the CPU scheduler, and I found a new one that's a little bit faster than the other one, like a little bit better at the 1% lows. But I've noticed that with recording the video, starting with the last ones, I think I did it just before that. I've noticed that it's like the encode doesn't encode quite as well, so it's a good chance I'm going to go back to my old one. Depending on how this video looks, I've actually for this one decided to use my graphics card for encoding instead of my CPU. I want to see how it looks. And if it looks nice, I'll probably just keep it this way because so many things are kind of recommending using the graphics card these days because of like a lot of modern technology with it. So we'll see how it looks out. It'll be different than my last few videos, that's for sure. Hopefully in a good manner. And this is actually the character I kind of picked because I was like, oh my god, this guy reminds me of Apollo. He has like the brown hair. He has the chiseled look, the windswept hair. You know, it's like my, I don't. The camera doesn't pick it up very well, but I got the cowlicks going too. Make the hair go everywhere. I was debating when I first did it, I was like, oh my god, you could be a pasty boy. You could be like really dark. But I don't want to be those two extremes. I was like, ooh, this one has a nice coloring. It goes nice with the hair. And I was like, ooh, this one's also pretty good. He looks like he has a good tan. I think I'm gonna go with this one. I don't honestly remember if this is the same one I did before, or if it's different, or if I did this one. But I'm just gonna go with this one and hope for the best. I'm going to not show my headpiece. I honestly think it's butt ugly, and I hope Paragons get something different, but they probably don't because that's why we can't have nice things. But the reason I kind of like this setup, this look, is for one very poor reason. I think, honestly, as I said, it kind of reminds me like Apollo. It's like he's in sandals, young, strong, not too bulky, with the nice hair and face. You know, he's ready, and you know, plus Apollo might be also God knows God of the sun, but he also is like God of healing too. So it's like support, healing, same difference. Plus the sun supports us all. So I think it's quite fitting. And as I said, I'm gonna name him Fear My Buff Games for the buff man and the buffs that he gives. And then so I looked it up for the first one. Reforge, of course, is just for prophecy, so it's not going to affect us here. But Avengers Accord, I want to benefit from the fact that this is the third character of the series, which means anybody by this point would have, you know, the count storage that they can benefit from. But I think I am going to do the Doom's Covenant just because it wasn't available last time, and I looked it up. It doesn't delete the character when you die, but you just stop gaining achievements from it. So I figure, why not? Let's go Doom's Covenant. We're gonna create. Listen, we've in a way. Oh, I'm gonna shut up. There's gonna be a cutscene here.
Ilona, land of the golden sun. A land of wealth and bounty. A land of heroes.
Who's that handsome lad?
A land protected by its champions, the Order of the Sun Spears.
I want a cool helmet like those guys.
A shadow now falls upon this land. The shadow of an ancient and forgotten darkness. Night falls. The time of the five gods is at an end.
Spear Marshal Cormier.
Ahai. It's good to see both of you. You have arrived just in time.
Nothing that we can't handle, I hope.
I have received word that Corsairs have been spotted off our coast. Your skills and leadership will be needed.
Your chosen one is here. Even though this thing, which I said specifically not to show, has been shown. One thing I noticed in the first episode I was talking before I started this is that Cormier will repeatedly say, you know, if you want to use the Cormier voice in the joke video, I need to speak with you, my buff guns. Instruct me to initiate conversation. I won't be using that voice for Cormier because I think it can kind of go pretty fast. And, you know, Cormier, she comes up a lot in the story. We have two choices here. We could either rally the recruits, which is the tutorial, which I did in the first video, and I don't think it made the best video So I'm gonna go take the shortcut instead of skipping the main tutorial. But Cormier says, those blasted Corsair... Oh, sorry, I'm using a male voice. Those blasted Corsairs will reach Schabeck soon. We have a tough choice. We could take the shorter, more dangerous path and risk suffering some casualties. Or we could take a longer, safer route. What do you think for my buff games? Which path should we take? I feel like that's definitely a different voice than the first time I used it. But if I can keep it consistent, oh well. That'll be your voice. So I'm still going to read the tutorial one because clicking this doesn't mean I immediately accept it. So just so you guys can see what it is. So basically it says, this route to Chalbeck village is slower, but it is much less perilous. And we can journey to the Sunspear watch post nearby and pick up reinforcements. We'll need to provide some training to the recruits along the way, and I'd like you to use you as an example for them. What do you think? My options are, as you wish, Spear Marshal, or let me reconsider. And the option we're going to pick for this video is, if we take this route to Schabeck village, we can hope for no support from a watch post nearby. It is faster, but you must be sure of yourself and your abilities if we hope to have any chance of success. And you can say, I must reconsider this again if you choose to actually go for the tutorial in the end, or you can just say, I'm confident in my abilities. Peasant. So I'm choosing to skip the tutorial, but I still need to go to the weapons locker and pick up my weapon. I do notice a change here compared to skipping the tutorial, which I think is a nice point that they did, is that in the original... Oh, wait, actually, it just automatically give you the starter spirit and realize that. But basically, what happens is that she guides you through the process of equipping stuff, picking up items, moving your character, all that stuff. So honestly, skipping that is kind of nice. But Ka says, that's the spirit for my buff games. Recruits ready your weapons and prepare for battle. By opening your inventory panel, then equip the weapon the Spear Marshal has given you. Here we go. It's a short jaunt through these shallows to Schabeck village. For my buff games, take point. Plus I will back you up. I'm gonna kill some of these guys for some... Oh god, there's more enemies over here. I was about to say, let's kill some enemies so we can get some experience. And then suddenly... Wait, these guys actually have a level. I was gonna say, maybe I should kill some of these enemies here for some experience, because I feel like the tutorial does give you more enemies to kill than what skipping the tutorial does. So I want to see what happens if I just kill all these Corsairs here. If it's just a matter of me getting a little bit more experience, or if there's actually something interesting if I go over here, because, you know, like most people, I imagine, you know, once I choose to skip the tutorial, you know, you just kind of brush the gate, move on, say, hey, I have better things to do with my time than sit around here. Doesn't like killing those guys do anything besides giving me some free experience. Sorry. Basically, what you miss by the tutorials, we go to the watch post, you know, outside of the, you know, the normal tutorial stuff. It's empty actually, so there's no reinforcements there anyways, and we basically fight our way through some level 1-0 Corsairs and a couple level 1s until we get to the first spear, Jagugar or whatever his name is. But I think we enter through this area here, or like more over here instead, so you have the longer path. And, you know, the longer path they say is less dangerous, but there's actually more enemies on the longer path, so, you know, factually incorrect. Says, Cormier had ordered me to guard this gate against Corsair attacks. No filthy Corsair will get through here, I assure you. Thank the gods you've arrived. The Corsair vanguard is overwhelming our defenses. I am ready. So we're officially in Schabeck village.
We are too late. The Corsairs have reached the village before us.
There are a lot of them.
No, there are only 2 Corsair ships and 3 of us. We outnumber them.
Corsairs are already in the town. Where are the defenses? Show me your leadership abilities. Defeat these Corsairs.
We will do our best.
You lead then. I will follow.
Yes, follow my lead, peasants. For I am the main character. First spear, Jagdugar. Says, now that you're here, we can drive those blasted Corsairs out of the village. I accept your charge of costs. He says, aha, or hey? Fear my buff games. The Corsairs are swiftly overtaking the village. Before we head off to get our blades bloodied, I need to make certain that these recruits know how to function as a team. Go speak to them. Rile them up and make sure they're going to inflict unspeakable pain upon the enemy. Make sure they know their stuff. And I can say, what do I look like? A school teacher? Or you can count on me. So considering we're chucking spears at people, we're going to increase spear mastery to 2. Leadership is you have some nice inherent things where the higher you get. Basically for every 2 in leadership, you get, as you increase your maximum energy you get from affecting allies with your shouts or chants. So at like attribute level 2, you get 2 energy back maximum, but at 12 you get 6 energy back maximum. And of course, if you go like get to 14, I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't checked out really any Paragon builds for this setup, but I imagine like the build's probably like maybe like try to get you to leadership 14 or something. That way you can get 7 energy back. That's my guess, at least. So I'm curious to see what these recruits do, because when the last time I was here and I talked to the recruits, they were giving me tutorial stuff. So I wonder if they're going to do the same now. It says, the fruits of my labor will be evident on the battlefield. My training will guide me to victory. It says, as a Sunspear, you never fight alone. Forming a party is an important element of being an effective soldier. It is important to coordinate your efforts so your unit acts as a well-oiled machine. You may add heroes to your group by selecting them from the drop-down menu in the party window. So, we've seen this when I've added mocks, but basically what he's saying is, I click this drop-down, I can now add Koss, who's level 2 like myself. And so he has some basic skills here. So if you don't have any skills as warrior, like this is your very first character, he gives you some warrior skills. You kind of build them up over time. However, I do have a lot of skills. So I'm going to give him 100 blades build. I'll probably change this up in the near future. And probably, like, maybe I'll give him a hammer or something similar. So talk to the next recruit, which says, since I was a child, I've always dreamed of wearing the Sunspear insignia. It is now my duty to defend my homeland. You must assume care over the men and women under your command. You could equip any of the heroes in your party by bringing up the inventory panel, selecting their portrait. From there, you can outfit them with any type of weapon, even upgrade their armor and runes. You'll also want to bring your heroes out on a few adventures to get them some valuable experience in the field. As they gain experience, their levels will rise, and they will gain health, attribute points, and improved armor. So for improved armor, what that basically means, those of you who don't know, heroes, so for example, mine's flat 20 armor, but eventually I can buy more armor, and as a heavy armor, it caps out at 80. But I have to keep buying more. However, heroes, to make your life easier, the armor for them starts out, for example, level 1, it's 23 armor, but by the time he gets to level 20, it'll max out at 80 because he's also heavy armor for costs. However, I can inscribe them with insignias and give them also runes, as he said, to make them stronger. So if you eventually get them built up, kitted up, you'll be pretty good. And of course, but its weapons, though, are basic. So one thing you could do is you'll basically be gearing up your heroes as well as yourself as the campaign goes to try and make them stronger and improve your party. This will probably be a much easier campaign than any before because you get heroes and you eventually get a full party of them, and you don't need any henchmen eventually, and then they keep becoming redundant. So the last Sunspear recruit, may Balthazar guide you my hand, Melandru my leg, and Duena my heart. Bringing proper skills in combat is extremely important. You may only alter your skills, and the skills of those under your command, while you are in a town or outpost. To do this, simply open up the Skills and Attributes panel, and equip the skills you need onto your skill bar. Once you've set your skills, be sure to adjust the attributes of your character and your heroes. You could switch between yourself and your heroes by selecting the character icons at the top of the Skills and Attributes panel. Yeah, for example, I only have 3 skills. Because I only have 3 skills, they're automatically out of my skill bar, so I don't need to make any changes. So I've talked to them first, Spear Jaggar.
So they are ready to face the enemy head on. Good news, indeed. Let's show those unwashed Corsair heathens what it means to challenge the Sun Spears.
So now, basically, we do have option for the mission, and I do think we have time. It's not a very long mission. So, we do have the option to add, I think there's only 2 henchmen option here. Yeah, a motivation henchman, so another Paragon and a healer. Understandable, because there are people probably aren't healing. Although, actually, I think I'm going to kick my healer, because I think this guy's actually going to give me a quest to invite one of them to my party. I just noticed this quest bar. Jibir.
Remember, Sunspears never fight alone. Standing next to me is the newest batch of reserved recruits. They're called henchmen. They are eager and willing for leaders like you to take them into battle and out on adventures. Should you ever need their service, feel free to add one or more to your party. Why don't you go and introduce yourself? Add at least 1 henchman to your party, then come back to talk to me. So I can say, sorry, but this party is full. Or, sure, I've always wanted my own henchman. And then, it looks like actually it's smart enough to realize that I already had a henchman in my party. So the quest automatically updates. I guess I did need a kicker after all. Jibril. Ah, I see you've made a new friend. You'll find henchmen will come in handy during your travels. Get to know them well, and you'll be able to play their strengths and curb their weaknesses. I accept.
One thing that's kind of nice here is that for heroes, unlike henchmen, I can actively see their bar, what they're using, what their health and energy are, and I can also say, avoid combat, don't try to kill anybody right now, or I could say, just guard the area, don't worry about it, or I could say, go aggro, kill everything in sight. And, you know, let's just leave them kill everything in sight, because why not, and we'll hop into the mission. We are ready. And you guys may notice I've mentioned I've taken the Doom's Covenant. Basically, what happens is, as long as I don't die, I will, start, getting achievement stuff, I think. But we must save Chabak Village. We must destroy the Corsairs occupying the village. We must sink the Corsair ship on the north side of the village. Sink the core ship on the south side. And the bonus is to keep as many Sunspear recruits alive as possible. So the allies that we have here, our objective is to keep them alive, so they don't die. So I'm gonna body block, make sure they they don't get to them. The way that Cormir, you're talking so much, it's hard for me to explain things that are going on and trying to follow along with what you're saying. Jesus. I'll try not to let them die while I'm distracted reading what she's spamming at me. She says, Homer says, they've overwhelmed the catapult crews. We must clear a path and retake those catapults to have any hope of sinking those ships. And then I say, you heard the Spear Marshal. Forward to the captain. Catapults. We have to focus our fire for maximum effect. For my buff games, I want you to call targets for the others. There are too many Corsair patrols to the north. We'll need to approach the catapults from the south. I'll ping your compass to indicate the proper direction. Haas says, how in the name of Balthazar did you do that? interact with the... Oh, there's enemies here. Hey, look, it's a boss enemy here. And good thing he's attacking me and not my recruits, so I can heal myself in Leader's Comfort. And then we'll need to talk about your knowledge of tacto. No, you leave him alone, you bastards. Actually, I think it's the female one. You leave her alone. Okay? And then Koss says, yes, Spear Marshal. Versus Blast, we need ammunition and arm these catapults. Fear my buff games. Koss, go find something we can use to destroy these ships quickly. We might be able to use the barrels of fireroll I saw over by the gate, west of the catapults. The Corsair over there looks like one of their leaders. You could tell by the glowing aura of power surrounding him. That was the boss that we just fought that they're referring to. Yeah. Basically right now she's telling us that the enemies patrol out, so wait, let them separate, don't just charge into the big group, which is understandable considering, I'm trying to, do an achievement where I don't fail anything, where I don't die at all, so ideally I don't do something dumb and get myself killed, And Koss also explained that the morale boost we get from killing a boss will recharge all skills such as the Resurrection Signet. That does require a morale boost in order to refresh. Plus that we also get stronger when we kill the bosses. Is also what it's explaining. And basically our two skills is Leader's Comfort, where because we regain set amount of health depending on our leadership. Right now I have 1 leadership, so it's 33 health. And then for each ally within earshot of me, I get an additional 11 health. Default is 10. Up to a maximum of 140 health. Meanwhile, my my Spear of Lightning deals additional 10 damage, base 8, if you don't have any Spear Mastery. But also has 25% armor penetration. Where are the bombs? Oh, there they go. Is they here? So it says they're by a gate. Oh, right here, found it. So we found the fire, we'll pick it up, and of course, because the one time we're not a caster, every time we do have to pick up something, we're not going to be able to use any weapon-based skills, so it's pretty annoying. And right now, Carmir is just explaining that we basically will press the firing level to load it, and then we press it again to fire, and it will attack the ships. And it's because it is just us, we're going to have to walk back, pick up a new fire oil, bring it over to the other catapult, and fire! Yeah, the cost still does have some of the problems of melee heroes in general, so he's gonna be a bit dumb with his targeting, is the best way of putting it. Nice and easy.
Yes! Take that, you Corsair dogs, and don't come back.
You've done well.
You can count on me. On us, I mean. On both of us.
These Corsair raids have gotten worse of late.
They have. It is a matter of concern for the Sunspears. Continue your training. We shall speak again of this at the Sunspear Great Hall.
Of course.
And always remember, you never fight alone.
Remember, you never fight alone. And because we kept all 3 of our recruits alive, we got the Master's Reward because we're just that amazing. I was hoping you'd actually put me in the town so I can end this part, but I feel like I might still have to end this part, but I think I'll basically have to record a little bit longer. It's 1 in the morning. I was not intending to be up this late, but I kind of was fiddling around with stuff, and I was like, I don't appreciate the quality of the video. I want to change things up. And so here we are. Well, for you guys, it's going to be a couple weeks, but for me, it's going to be instantaneous. I hope you guys enjoy this series as much as I'm looking forward to it. And, once we do Nightfall, we'll do Eye of the North. Who knows? Maybe they'll have another expansion by then. I've heard rumors. They've been working on Guild Wars 1. We'll see. They did get a bit of money out of me because I did pay $6 to get a character select, new character slot, because I was maxed out and I didn't want to delete any of my pre-existing characters. So here we are. Well, I do hope you guys have a good day, night, evening, wherever you guys may be. I'll see you next time.